This is what is affecting them on an unconscious level.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in
those who do
addition to
convert,
that, pardon, sir?
Those who do convert, I think they immediately become very strong conservative Catholics.
Yes, like Rabbi
They don't
Dalit.
join the liberal wing,
Yes,
the center wing.
yes, Rabbi Dalit is now teaching at Ave Maria University in Naples,
yes.
Florida. This was not mentioned on the program,
Right.
but a Jewish fellow who's half Italian and half Jewish in our neighborhood, we both bumped into him in the Chapel of Perpetual Adoration in St. Mark's Church on Adelphi Road. He just nodded and spoke to us like he'd always known us, and he looked familiar to us, but we indeed had never met him before. And he told me the other day, he said, Rabbi Dalit is down there at Ave Maria University teaching. He became a Catholic, his father became a Catholic, and then he became a Catholic. But the mother was Italian, even though the father was Jewish. They had a great big family, 11 children, so that's remarkable in itself. But Mother Angelica's program announced another thing, that half of all the abortion clinics that were operating in the United States like 10 years ago, half of those have shut down completely. And this has to be because of the labor of some of the people on that program. There's a young priest, he has a kind of Spanish name, but I think he may be Italian, might have been born in Naples, so that might explain the name. But he has the most serious and original ideas that I have ever heard on how to close down abortion 100%. Yeah. And they are using a lot of people that are organizations that have the same purpose as he does. He interviews them on the TV with Mother Angelica's channel, and they have tried his methods and they work. He is very serious about it. Oh, he's just wonderful.
What you have to consider is if abortion was a small business.
Yes.
There are fewer places where abortions can be got, but there has been a merger effect such that there are larger institutions, although fewer of them. Planned Parenthood was accredited itself with 22% of the abortions.
It's probably
now,
that figure
by itself.
Yeah.
So it's going to grow into a few large institutions that do it. But you have to believe that they're going to go on. Isn't it a problematic that if there's been an estimate of 50 million abortions a year for the last 30 years, that comes out to 1.5 billion abortions, 1.5 billion murders
worldwide,
of the innocent. Can we think that the wrath of God is not going to visit?
Yeah. I think worldwide it's 1 every 4 seconds. In the United States, there's an abortion once every 22 or 23 seconds. Every 23 seconds.
Well, you see, this is such a heinous crime, and it's kind of secretive, and that's one of the ugly aspects of it, all the secretiveness that's been associated with it through the years. Now we do see on TV women marching with big signs, "I regret my abortion." That at least is a step in the right direction.
I had the fun a year or two ago of delivering a talk on the moral flaw in the pro-choice position. I think that's what the name of the talk was. I delivered it to an international group of bioethicists. And bioethicists, you might think, well, they're on both sides of the issue. No, they are solidly pro-abortion, solidly pro-everything that the church condemns in bioethics.
Yeah.
But bioethics is a recent development, is it not? I mean, it hasn't existed for centuries, even for decades.
It's a recent development. But now they have professional bioethicists. And I was talking to this group in Italy. This was at the University of Pavia Medical School near Milan.
I used to work in Milan.
Ah, yeah. But the great moral flaw in the pro-choice position is this. If there is honest doubt as to whether an entity is a human being or not, how would a truly civilized society resolve that doubt in favor of humanness or against it? obviously in favor of humanness.
But of course.
So we have to regard the fetus as a human being.
Of course.
And I went into a sort of corollary to that
Yes.
position. A great many people, physicians and scientists, have said that at least by the 8th week, the fetus has developed enough such that its pain-sensing mechanisms are all present. It's debated as to whether the infant experiences those pains, but by the 22nd week, the consensus is that the infant feels pain. My position was, since there are reputable scientists who say by the 8th week the apparatus is all there for the feeling of pain, and the infant must feel pain, others disagree. There seems to be honest doubt as to whether an 8-week-old fetus feels pain.
Right.
How should a truly civilized society resolve that doubt in favor of the notion that the infant feels pain, or against it? Obviously in favor of it. You can't be truly civilized. And the vast majority of abortions are performed at the 10th week. If you think about it, you have to wait until you miss a month, and then a couple more weeks go by, and then it takes a little while to plan the thing. And most abortions, the vast majority, are performed at the 10th week. So
yes.
Certainly almost all after the 8th week.
We used to think that all doctors took the Hippocratic Oath. I understand it's optional now.
Yeah, well, even if they take it, they take the abortion condemnation out of it. They no longer have that in there.
Yes, it's interesting that you bring that up this evening, because I was just yesterday, researching that, and I said, I understand very well why I'm a traditionalist and a conservative, because at the peak, the high cultural point of ancient and modern civilizations and everything that fell in between, there were certain individuals and certain spokesmen for the chief philosophies of the civilizations that I don't think anyone who's taken an interest in ancient Greece and read anything that Epictetus had to say, that any of his, maybe he didn't write anything, but a lot of people recorded what he had to say. Stoicism reached a pinnacle of civil thought before Christ. I mean, it was the best that anybody had to offer.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, Christ had not come yet, so naturally they didn't have the benefit of holy revelation, but just using their power of reasoning. And this is the reason the church fathers sunk their roots deeply into the Greco-Roman civilization that had floated to the top of Western life. The best people, the most educated people, the highest levels of the societies had read all the greats of Greco-Roman civilization, and therefore were attentive to Christian thought. And when you go through the catacombs, like Frank and I were fortunate enough to do outside of Rome, and read those statements above the tombs of the martyrs, painted over them, it's obvious that a very huge percentage of the early converts were Greek culture.